What's going on, Cats fans? It's Monday, the 29th of May, and this is your Round 11 reaction video. Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Yes, the Cats had a third consecutive loss. Third loss. And it's not the first time we've had consecutive three-game losses in 2023. And unfortunately, it's our third straight loss against GWS at the Fortress, at the Catriona Park, GMHBA. How the hell did that happen? I don't know. I hope you know. Tell me in the comments if you know how the hell it happened. We just cannot find a way to beat this orange and grey and white filth mob, whatever you want to call them. It's disgusting. Anyway, unfortunately, 21,000 people had to see that. Wasn't great. We got within a couple of points on a few occasions there in the last quarter, and it looked like the Geelong of old might just find a way to win ugly again and just found a way to miss goals that we probably should have kicked. That were very gettable. Yeah, sure enough, went down the other end and GWS put the dagger in and kicked the goal themselves. That's just what happens. But anyway, what are we now? Season slipping away. We're currently 10th on the ladder after 11 rounds. It's going to be a tough month ahead. And yeah, thankfully the bye is not far away, so we'll have an opportunity to regroup. Maybe get some players back. Probably lose a few more. Just seems to be the way things are going this year. Get some players back, lose some more. Never really get a full squad together. But what it is, what it is. As you can tell, I'm really grumpy. I'm really grumpy, and too grumpy that I couldn't even record it on Sunday night like I normally do. What are you going to do? So we had more scoring shots than them. We won 3 of the 4 quarters. Still lost the game. But that's what happens when you get absolutely smashed at stoppages. When you allow 8 more marks inside 50 than we got. When you've got 2 Cobblin medalists and big power marking forwards there, and yeah, they had 18 tackles more than us inside 50. So, what were our forwards doing? Just letting the ball get out so easily. That's what happens. You can't, you're not going to win many games with that. That's just, I don't know. There's massive issues all around the ground, and you just think you saw this stuff last week, especially around the tackling. What happened? Did we not listen to the coaches? Have we just clocked out? Are the players not caring anymore about this season and they're just focusing on next year? What about your blokes like Max Holmes who missed out on a premiership? What about some of these guys that might be their real last crack at a premiership before age gets the better of them? I don't know. I want to point the finger at any 1 or 2 players, but it just seems to be a whole attitude thing across the board at the moment. You can cop those injuries, and I know, but it's just like the players that we've got. Just don't seem a lot of effort. I'm just, yeah. Not everyone, but Jesus, there's a hell of a lot of passengers out there at the moment. I'll go through some of the stats leaders for the Cats. Tom Stewart, he's been fantastic again. 31 touches, 9 marks. Can't blame Tom Stewart. Does his best. Isaac Smith, age will not get the better of him. He'll probably go again next year and maybe play 400 games the way he's going. He's a freak. He had 24 touches and 741 metres gained. Absolute freak. Gryan Miers, close to all Australian. Probably won't get it, but he's having one of those kind of years. He should be top 3, best and fairest at the end of the year, the way things are going. You just love it when he's got the ball in his hand. You just know he's going to hit a target, or he's going to give our forwards the best chance at hitting a target. He's fantastic. And you all know I love Mark Blicavs, but his stats will back it up. He had 22 touches, 6 tackles, 7 clearances, and 11 hit-outs. What more can you ask? So, name another player in the club that can do that. I don't know. For GWS, though, it was the Toby Green show. His 200th game. He kicked 4 goals before half-time, surely. Surely we could have done better on Toby Green. Yeah, umpires felt like it was his game as well and gave him a nice free kick there at one point. He kicked the goal off on the siren at half-time. Lockie Whitfield was another one who wound the clock back a little bit, 31 touches. And most thing that was unforgivable for me was that we allowed Jesse Hogan to have a day out. 19 touches, 10 marks, and 6 tackles. How does that happen? How does Jesse Hogan do that against us? Unbelievable. But look, saying all that, I'm whinging. There were some highlights. There was quite a lot of highlights, actually. I liked Stengel's mark in the first quarter. Up high, Stengel, very nice. And his fourth quarter goal there, I think Isaac Smith won it, tapped it over his head, and Stengel got onto that and did a nice little snap goal there. It was Gryan Miers, again, awesome kick. Kicked a beautiful 50-metre pass to Stengel running, to Jezza running towards goal there. That was fantastic. Mullen nearly kicked goal of the year. That would have been fantastic. I reckon that would have fired us up and we probably would have won the game if he kicked that. I'm not having a crack at Mullen. I thought it was bloody amazing. Not many players would kick that kind of goal, but first game of AFL 42, if he kicked that, it was incredible. Brad Close was a smother or a handball. He intercepted or whatever and kicked a goal from an angle there. Yeah, close to goal. That was really good. And I really liked Ollie Henry's fourth quarter goals. He kicked 2 goals in the fourth quarter. Really stood up. I was saying to my partner, I don't think he'll kick these. He gets the yips a little bit, but he went back and nailed both of them. Unfortunately, he missed that snap goal, which looked pretty gettable, really. But he did kick those set shot goals, which was really important as we were making a charge late there. Now, some lowlights. Clearly, the Radigalia hamstring injury. It's going to be talked about a little bit through the week. Thankfully, there's a bye in the fortnight, so we'll give him a bit of time to come back from that. Are we going to be super conservative? Can we afford to be? I don't know. Do we just take some risks now? Do we just load up for 2024? I don't know. We're kind of in that awkward stage of the season where we've got to make some calls soon. Do we start blooding some more young players and start resting a few more of the senior guys, making them a bit more, not making them retire early, but do we start bringing a few more younger guys in rather than losing 4 or 5 players in the off-season to retirement, and then all of a sudden you've got to play these guys who've had less than 10 games experience. So how do we do? What do we do? I didn't like the umpiring decision. I know a lot of people weren't happy with the umpires all game, but I didn't. There was one in particular where Oisin Mullen got tackled, got his head slammed into the turf. I think it was the second head high hit he copped in a couple of seconds. But yeah, Toby Green, the beneficiary of a holding the ball decision against Oisin Mullen, and sure enough, goes back, kicks goal. Yeah, fantastic. As I said, Jezza and Ollie Henry missing goals in the fourth quarter. That didn't help, especially the Jezza one. You'd think that was going to be a goal for sure. And for poor old Mitch Nevitt, I know he hasn't played 10 games yet, but holding the ball, top 40 metres out, directly in front in the fourth quarter, really costly. Just went the wrong way, and probably just didn't appreciate the pace of the game, and made a bad decision. It's an instinctive thing to do, but made the wrong call. So unfortunately, that led to a goal. Made it very hard for us. Some players that I liked, I really liked Oisin Mullen's first game. I think he should and probably will get a second game in a row against Western Bulldogs. Hopefully he does. I think he did enough to. He looks good at the level. So hopefully he'll get another one. We talked about Mitch Nevitt. I thought he'll learn from that mistake. I think he only played. He came in as a sub, but hopefully he'll be back in the 22 next week. Keep the faith with Mitch Nevitt. I think he's going to be a player. Wouldn't come down too hard on him. Sam De Conning, the Masked Crusader, first came back in a little bit, looked very rusty. Mark O'Connor tries his guts out every week. He's not the most skillful or classiest player out there, but definitely tries his guts out. Tanner Bruin looks good at times, doesn't get a hell of a lot of game time, 53% of game time, and that's pretty standard most weeks for him. I don't know what that's about, but coaches just keep him on the bench for some reason. So maybe he hasn't got much of a tank. I don't know. They use him in spurts, like they're probably going to do with Danger when he gets back. Tyson Stengel looked a lot better this week than he did last week. Jonathan Segler tries hard, but just isn't at the level. And he doesn't seem the right fit for us as well. He's not the right fit. So Jeremy Cameron, a little bit better this week, but ultimately I don't think he can do it without a midfield. I don't think Jezza can do it without a midfield. Anyway, my votes. I gave one vote to the Blitz. I thought he was great. Gryan Miers, fantastic. He goes missing at times, but he's fantastic whenever he gets the ball. And Tom Stewart, again, 3 votes again. Probably going to, if not for Jezza, it'll be out of him and Jezza, out of the Carge Goose medal, end of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if Gryan's up there as well, but Tom Stewart again. Can't really say too much more about him. On to next week, though. We've got the Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium on the Saturday night. It's going to be a tough one. Thankfully, the Doggies lost this week. They were flying at one point. They're now sitting 6th on the ladder. As I said, we're 10th. I don't think we'll win this game. I'll talk a bit more about it later in the week when I've had a chance to look at the matchups a little bit more closely and see some of the ins and outs and all that. But at this stage, I'm not feeling too good about this game at all. I feel like the Doggies are going to get us and do it pretty easily. Quick look around the grounds. Sydney had a win against Carlton by 26 points, back-to-back wins for Sydney, so still not convinced by them at all. Saints, can't believe the Saints lost to Hawks. Sicily with 43 touches here, that was crazy. Melbourne, their season's a bit, I mean, they're doing a bit better than us, but they're having one of those odd seasons as well where you think they're good, and then they drop one. So Fremantle got them by 7 points. The Suns defeated the Bulldogs. Probably helps us a little bit. Lukosius 4 goals in the second quarter there. Incredible. He's going to be a player to watch, even though he's at the Suns. We probably should keep an eye on this Jack Lukosius bloke. Essendon defeated the West Coast. Yeah, predicted that. They're back in the top 8 now. Port defeated Richmond for their 8th straight win. A bit worried about Port. First game without Hardwick. And Collingwood defeated North. We all thought that was going to happen. And Adelaide defeated Brisbane, which I would have thought was a bit of an upset. But Brisbane were very, very wasteful, unfortunately. Into other club news, the VFL boys had a nice win, though, by 13 points against Port Melbourne. Phoenix Foster was, again, really, really good with 2 goals. Ollie Dempsey probably should get a recall. He had 27 touches and a goal. Cooper White probably just doing enough, but not really enough to get another AFL game at this stage. 16 touches for Cooper White. The boys are currently 10th on the ladder as well. So VFL and AFL men all sitting 10th on the ladder. The women's are leading the way, first on the ladder. Did have a loss on the weekend, though, unfortunately, by 7 points to Port Melbourne, but still sitting top of the ladder. So, yeah, everyone's going pretty well. Just need the boys to try a little bit harder and somehow find a way and get some players back from injury. What can you do? But that shall do it for another episode of The Hoop Show. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and share your comments down below. Let me know what you thought about the game. Curious to see what your thinking is and how we're going to go for the rest of the season. So, and I know it's hard. I know it's very hard, but stay Geelong strong and go Cats.